we have two more sessions left, and they're very special. They're both case studies. The next one is how Hilti is using 3D to communicate visual identity guidelines, and this is all built on Metaverse Engine. So this is a really interesting one to see. So take a look.
Well, we have a very special interview for you today. We have Benno Earhart, who leads storytelling and digital design at Hilti. Welcome, Benno.
Thank you very much to see you. Glad to have you here.
So yeah, tell us a little bit more about the company and your role there.
Absolutely. So I actually got in contact with Hilti when my dad was there in the 80s. So I had a bit of an exposure already. And I came across Hilti again when they went through the brand refresh in 2016. And Hilti is very well known in Europe, not so much known in the US yet, not as much as we would like to. But basically, we are one of the main contributors to excellency in construction. So be it tools, be it software, be it health and safety and services and things like that.
So you worked with Metaverse on a 3D Hilti brand experience. What sparked your interest in creating such a project, and why did you want to build a brand experience in 3D?
So I like to be at the cusp of things. I usually run with the flag up front and, storming the hill and then looking back and wondering where everyone is. So I'm a bit of a fire starter when it comes to these things. So same for technology. I got to meet Alan through LinkedIn, and I followed his content, and I found you guys. And I was looking at a partner who would help us, put our foot a little bit into the metaverse and kind of get going on that one. Of course, we were already exploring some 3D things as well, but I just felt metaverse was a great offering, and especially what I liked about it was the engine that you built. It really helps to set it up once, let's say, in parentheses, and then the customer can actually modify it and adapt it over time. And I think that's really compelling. 3D is very important within the organization. And my idea was to show that it's not just the products that we have in 3D, basically, but also other areas where the brand can shine. And that's why I decided I wanted to also bring a brand experience into the third dimension from a virtual aspect, especially also to showcase to the younger generations, it's not just all about guidelines and reading through endless pages of definitions and regulations, but actually making the brand more tangible in a virtual experience that everyone could access around the world.
Absolutely. You're definitely preaching the gospel of 3D and WebXR right there. You hit it on the nail. So what is your vision of the future of branding design and how to do 3D and XR? How do they play a role in the future of branding design?
I think they play a huge role, and we have yet to discover how it's going to change things. I think a lot will have to do with also brand management becoming more flexible in how we open up the brand. And if you think of today's action that's going on in social media and the emerging channels that are brand new, sometimes it feels like a free for all, like you can do anything, and brand is not really regarded anymore, and you just jump in and you do whatever you can. And I think key will be to keep the core foundation of your brand expression, but then build on that. So depending on what channel you're in, I would even say to agree where the user can somewhat play with the brand within safe boundaries, of course, always back on not destroying the foundation, but giving it his or her own spin, even with the cultural affinity aspect. And I think that's what makes brand evolution so interesting, because we're getting away from this very regulated linear execution of branding and coming into even AI-driven expression of how a brand can come to life.
So let's take a look at the Hilti brand experience that you spearheaded. Can you talk us through it as you show it to us?
Absolutely, happy to do so. This is the entry point to our virtual brand experience. We decided, to take one of the 360 pictures of a job site that maybe will be in the making, or simply is a space where we think it's cool to showcase another world within a world you wouldn't expect. And when it comes to the Hilti case, it's quite one of our most iconic elements that brings our brand to life and is highly recognizable around the world. And so we decided, why wouldn't we pack this really cool virtual world within this Hilti case? So, I can explore here, I can flip around. I can now click on this case, and there's an intro animation that takes me inside. You can actually flip up if you want, scroll out, you can look at the whole case from above, scroll out even more. So it gives you that whole aspect of I'm inside this little world. I can go back in. So we have some fly through things here that you can go back into. I can click it away, and now I see what we call our 6 brand fundamentals. So it's from the logo, brand colors, brand typography, the design system, brand visuals, and brand voice. And so this is really our space where we can play around and explore certain aspects of the brand and how its foundation is built.
So how did you approach the Hilti brand experience project? Did you know from the start what you wanted to create, and talk about that process a little bit?
So when I started with it, I decided that I wanted to create a situation or an experience that obviously used the aspects of virtual reality and bring in that aspect of creating a space that is, let's say, unrealistic, right? Housing this whole environment just within a Hilti case. You'll have like little minifigures running around, but that's the beauty of it. And shaping these containers in a way, Metaverse has done a really cool job in supporting us there, in really coming up with some creative ideas and in how to model these and bring these to life. So that was really a great interaction with the team. Also, a lot of times we had a lot of other things going on, and Metaverse really jumped in and supported us in our ideas and helped us tremendously with the execution.
I wanted to see the brand colors because I've seen this experience before, and that's one of my favorite parts about this brand experience. Can you?
Absolutely.
Yeah. What a fun way to gamify this.
Exactly, and I think that's an important aspect that you mentioned in terms of gamification, right? A lot of times, metaverse and virtual worlds are highly regarded or viewed as just gaming experience, and I think the trick is to understand that it's influenced by games mainly right now in terms of game design and game experience. But what a virtual world can do for you is so much more. I can easily change out this content based on where I am in the world to have almost like a local reference in how to use and apply these colors. So for instance, I can make one color higher or taller to emphasize that this is our core color used most often, things like that. I could have links that would take me to magazines or websites or digital products to showcase how the colors are being used inside the system. And this all goes back to everything else that we have, be it colors, be it typography, things like that, right? I mean, it's really a cool way of creating a space that is highly engaging and very interesting to look at, but also helping you a lot to very quickly also showcase brand imagery and things like that, where it gives you a very quick overview what the look and feel of the brand is within a really cool space.
Yeah, it definitely makes the information, especially more complex information, more digestible, more relevant to each other, relevant to yourself. Like you said, easily accessible. And it's just a new way of ingesting different types of content, and quickly too, rather than having to read through however many PDFs just to get to an answer.
Another aspect of brand fundamentals that is very important is, of course, tone of voice. And what this room shows you and was a lot of fun creating with Metaverse was how do you display sound and how do you explain tone of voice? And what this one is doing is it's taking you through the the core pillars of our expression, and gives you a little sound wave, and of course a little pop-up that I can't show, of course, because it really shows the inner workings of how we talk to our customers. But it's just a fun way in how to bring brand voice to life in a visual way.
That's really interesting. I've never seen anything like that before.
100%, Sophia, and it's also actually going to increase if you think of Alexa and voice-activated commands, buying stuff on eBay or Amazon. A lot of it is going to be voice-driven in how people associate themselves or connect with the brand. So this is really crucial to keep in mind.
So interesting.
Okay, last but not least, the brand lab that was rotating in the air earlier in the main room. It really is a cool little space that we created. And of course, I love rocket ships, so that had to be in there. But basically what Brand Lab does is, it shows how can we further grow the brand. And one of the inputs I put in here, we're very much known for our precision, the innovation, how our tools perform and really last forever. And I see the next evolution for the brand to really further invest into the amazing workforce that we have, the sales force out there, connecting with our customers already, and activating our 31,000 employees to continuously interact with our customers and connect with them, engage them. And one of the elements that Brand Lab also allowed us to do, it takes you through the 4 core pillars of our new cordless platform. People can click on it and get some deeper information. It connects with the landing page of Hilti. So there's so many various things you can do in digital space to make it even more engaging and get people excited about any sales offering or product offering services that you have by bringing it to life within a space like this.
I'm curious, have you found that Hilti employees just have gotten to know the company and the brand a lot better with the availability of something like this?
I think they really appreciate the visual aspect of it. And imagine now taking this into complete virtual space where you wear goggles. Right now it's a desktop experience, right? Or mobile experience. If you then immerse yourself completely into the space and you could technically even walk around in it and interact with certain things, I think then it really becomes extremely immersive and memorable. It really helps with the immersion of that virtual is giving you to sit at your desk, but feel like you're out there with your customers and getting the full experience.
That's wonderful. I can't wait to explore this in virtual reality one day.
Absolutely.
Congratulations on this project. It's beautiful. I can't believe it's all contained in that one little suitcase.
Exactly. Magic. Thank you very much. It was great fun creating it, and we'll definitely continue working on evolving it. I can only really implore and motivate everyone who's interested in it to deep dive and just start exploring. And it's definitely coming, and it's going to be a big portion of how we experience the world, not only in virtual space, but it's going to be very empowering to have that option when it comes to interaction on a global scale.
Absolutely. I really appreciate you coming on the show with us today. It was very meaningful, I'm sure, to me, and I'm sure the audience, to have you here and showcase from your perspective, how you can utilize 3D and WebXR to create a brand guideline experience, and how that can be effective.